Hello, 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 everybody. This evening, I'm a jackass like the rest of America because let's see, our politicians don't give a shit about us. Let's be honest. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Richard. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Tia. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Joe. Hi, Latif. Hi, Amber. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Tia. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Matt. Hi, Pam. Hi, Amber. Hi, Kevin. How you guys all doing tonight? Dealing with this idiotic government, literally, donkey. Even the Pentagon is acknowledging the previous undisclosed anti-radar missiles given to Ukraine may have been used in this attack in Crimea right now. This attack that happened in Crimea earlier, ridiculous. I know this face is ridiculous. I'll take it off here for a second, but I had to do it. Had to. It's ridiculous what's happening. The Pentagon acknowledging that they sent previously undisclosed anti-radar missiles to Ukraine, knowing that they could be used against Russia on Russian territory, and aircraft to target Russian radar systems. Not disclosing it and being openly honest, trying to hide what we did. Ukraine, of course, says that Russia's lost 9 warplanes and destroyed in Crimea in a blast. Now, we do not know what exactly happened with this blast so far. All we know is that 9 warplanes were destroyed and the deadly string of explosions that happened in an airbase in Crimea that appeared to be a result of a Ukrainian attack. And if it is a Ukrainian attack, this is going to be a significant escalation in the war. Russia's already issued direct statements that if Crimea was attacked at any point, nuclear weapons would be on the table. Russia so far has denied any aircraft were damaged in the blast, and of course, or that any attack took place. The satellite photos are clearly showing at least 7 fighter planes at the base have been blown up and others probably damaged. So, right now, this escalation could be the worst escalation we're seeing so far. The destabilization of the entire fighting force in Ukraine. Now, this first major attack on Russia's military sites on the Crimea Peninsula, which was seized from Ukraine by the Kremlin in 2014. But you got to remember, it wasn't just seized. It was like 97% of the people wanted to become part of Russia again. It was a political pool that wanted to do this. It wasn't just random attack. This is becoming ridiculous, though. Our government being directly involved and not caring. I mean, it's going to drag us into this war one way or another. I mean, we know China wants a war with us. We know Iran wants a war. I mean, Crimea is the whole that the Kremlin demanded that everybody recognize Crimea as part of Russia, and it's been. Now Ukraine has, of course, vowed to drive Russian from the peninsula and all other occupied territories, stating that they wanted nuclear war. Nuclear war would happen over this. Russia already stated this. So it's not a good thing. It is not a good thing. Of course, Iran today has began training Russian to use its advanced drones and its satellite system that Russia put up in the air last night or yesterday. Iran has begun training the Russian officials to use, according to the Biden administration, the latest sign that Moscow plans to use Tahrir military weapons to try to seize the new aerial advantage in Ukraine, an aerial advantage as well. And they will get it. It is sad. I don't know why we are fighting a war where we're not supposed to be in. It doesn't benefit our country whatsoever. It doesn't benefit our people. In fact, it puts us at more risk with other countries. Jeopardizes our union as a sovereign nation. It's not like they're an ally or, in the least, a good country. Ukraine has been known to violate civil rights at an alarming amount. I mean, you look at the population there, it went from losing people of color, losing people of other ethnicities or races or backgrounds, even including Jewish people are moving out of Ukraine at alarming rates prior to this war starting because of the hatred that was placed upon them. Ukraine is the new modern day Germany, let's be honest. It's a neo-Nazi regime there. It believes only certain people of certain color and hair color and eye color should be the best of the best. I mean, look at their Azos group and their Warhammer with Adolf Hitler right on it. It's ridiculous watching what's happening. And the U.S. backing it one after another. And then you see our government doing such a great job, controlling our country and doing the right thing, standing up for the citizens of America, and of course, not trying to be a politicized police force or paramilitary force, raiding homes of people that they do not want to run for office. Literally, Trump, at this point, has already cooperated with National Archives, with his lawyers involved, with the archives involved, everything full cooperation. Why was this raid, or why did this raid on Trump's house happen? And what's the actual information that came from there? We know they took out lots of boxes of documents, but nothing has yet to surface out of them. What are they fishing for now? That's the big question tonight is why the FBI even went in the first place, and what information did they use to secure a warrant? That's what I want to know. What they brought forward to the judge stating that we have evidence of a crime or that could have happened, and the evidence is here in this location. They need proof. They can't just say it. So what proof did they bring forward to this judge? That's what I want to know. And as American citizens, you should want to know too. We are not a communist country. We are a democracy. We allow people to vote. People have open freedom of speech and ideologies and public discrimination. We can discriminate against our government at any point. We can be against our government. That's our right. But for our government to go and attack a politician, first of all, an ex-president without grounds is ridiculous for political cause. Literally, this is what it is. It's a political ringleader playing a game of who can we round up and stop from running for office so we can keep control. They know they're losing midterms. Now they're worried about 2024. I can't wait till the midterms come forth and Republicans replace the House and the Senate, and we start doing investigations on why these things happen. That's what America should be worried about. Why are these things happening right now? And who's saying what's going to happen next? I mean, Senate Democrats and House Democrats have been getting away with murder, or basically, they're with passing bills, of course, like this idiotic spending bill. Of course, it's supposed to be a inflation reduction bill, but it's not going to reduce inflation. It's going to increase inflation. The IRS is getting billions of dollars to, of course, spend billions of dollars on enforcement. And who's more likely to get audited? That's the big question for that one. One of the most tightening phases of the IRS taxpayers is audit. Everybody fears that word. Getting an audit by the IRS. I don't care if you do your taxes and you do them right. Audits are never fun. You have to go through years of going back and forth at IRS, making sure you got every document dotted and T's crossed, and it is ridiculous. But of course, adding another $80 billion to hire 870,000 new staff to audit people, that's cause for concern. Most of those people targeted workers are going to be middle-class families. And that's not a denial. You can't lie about that. Middle-class families, people making under $100,000 a year, or just over, independent business operators, and poor people are 5 times the rate of everyone else to be audited. That's what analysts found, not just me. Under the new plan, about $46 billion of the $80 billion will be spent on hiring enforcement agents, as well as to keep track of taxes on cryptocurrency. Literally going after every penny they can. This is ridiculous. Instead of spending money at a ridiculous rate and adding almost $100 billion to the U.S. budget every year, they could have cut out that money and saved it. Yeah, they need 2.5 billion rounds of ammunition. That's what the IRS has right now. A little bit over 2.5 billion rounds of ammunition, if you want to know. That's 7 rounds per every American citizen. They don't care about food prices. They don't care about how it's going to affect us as citizens of the United States. I mean, we see what's happening in Europe. We see their 5 to 7% increases in power bills already, and now they're expecting 87% increase by winter. It's going to happen here. LUS customers could see rate hikes beginning for electric, water, and winter and wastewater beginning November 1st. Customers of here in the United States will start seeing effects. In Lafayette, on November 1st. This is just the beginning. This is one of the first people that announced their budget proposal for increased rate hikes today. This is one of the first cities that put out their budget proposal. And they're expecting to raise wastewater rates to 9.5%. And water rates to 8%, electric rates by 13%. That's the rate raises that are coming November 1st. And it's a southern county. One of the first budgets we've seen come in so far. And as these county budgets start coming in, we're going to see rate raises going throughout the whole entire county. Now, these aren't even state budgets yet. The state can still raise those power prices even more and water prices even more, beginning on what they want to raise. Inflation is not 0%. Inflation is still 9% or 8.5% or 8.6. But it is ridiculous. What are Americans going to do come winter? I mean, we only got a couple months, 3.5 months? 2.5 months till we really get hard cold? And we got electric companies and everybody else willing to charge $1,200, $1,300 to fill a tank of gas to heat your house for maybe 2 months. And on the top of that, you got to pay electric, which you can't afford. Can't afford your mortgage. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I mean, food prices aren't expected to just drop out of nowhere. They could claim, inflation's going down. Yeah, we had a slow period for 1 point that slowed like a 0.5 point last time or 0.5% last time, and then it went back up 2.5% the next time. So what's going to happen with this next month if inflation's going to go even higher? Yeah. It is sad. It is extremely, extremely sad what's happening. And nobody's talking about what's happening in the world of AI and computer industry and all that. We're talking about chip manufacturing, but AI has now developed a language and producing scientific experiments and a language and a whole entire meaning that we don't even understand now. It's developed its own language to talk with other AI systems already, and nobody's talking about that. Researchers are watching this in development of this artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence even believes it can fly on its own at this point. You guys can call in at any time. You guys are always welcome to call in and talk about what's happening. Yeah, the new virus in China. I'm going to get to that tonight. I haven't gotten to it yet. The Liang virus, of course, in China has 35 people sick so far, and we know it's spreading in human-human contact. This is the first time. This is a novel virus. It's never been seen in humans before, so we will talk about that here in a little bit more. But hi, how you doing tonight? Welcome to Real News Live. How you doing, Debbie?
I'm doing good. Do I need to go back into you live and turn it down on my phone to be able to talk to you, or are we okay?
I can hear you just fine right now, so there's no background
Okay.
noise.
So I have a whole lot to say about all this shit, and I'm pissed about everything. And like I mentioned in my post that I put, I blast you when I work. And like I can't comment, or I can't, say anything or anything, but the reaction of people just totally boggles my mind. I mean, they're like, "What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "The truth. What's going on?" "Oh, that's bullshit. That's not really happening." I'm like, "Okay, well, whatever." But I do have a lot of customers that come in, and they're all just flabbergasted about everything that's going on in Biden and all this shit. But what I really want to touch on is, okay, so that Mega Millions that just went off, that was what was it? It came out to be $1 billion plus.
Yeah.
How many people are in America? 320 million people live in this country, right?
Yeah, it would only been a couple dollars a person.
No, if it was $1 trillion or whatever it was, $1 billion, if there's only 1 million people or 320 million people, everybody could have been a millionaire. Everybody could have won a penny, won some money, right?
Won a couple bucks. It came to like $4 and something cents a person in America.
A person, okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be more than that. But anyway, so this raid on Trump, why did they do that? So I went down the rabbit hole. Why? And I started looking at shit. And one of my other friends who gets jailed all the time, I guess there's some law in the book that if anybody who is running for an office gets charged with any kind of a crime of taking classified documents, they can never run for a public office again.
No,
So
they have to. There's a stipulation of that. It's not just classified documents. It's purposely trying to conceal classified documents. So if he had documents,
they can't run again.
No, he would have to purposely be trying to conceal them, which he would never try to do. He's already worked with the National Archives. What they're actually doing, I believe, with this whole bullshit of his raid on his property is to actually go in and get information that they don't have on January 6th. They're trying to find something that can tie him to January 6th because nothing yet has tied anybody to January 6th as a mass movement.
For January 6th, there are videos. How many times do videos have to be put out that shows? I'm just an everyday person, and I see them where the cops let these guys in, and they were clearly not patriots. Some of them changed their clothes in the hallway.
Yeah, we did videos of this. Not even in the hallway. We've seen people changing their clothes prior to even going to the event, making sure they look like Trump supporters. But the thing is, they're trying to find some little divot Maybe afterwards he said, "Oh, I wish I was with them. I wish I was a part of that." And they're trying to use that to squeeze a hole open, but they're not going to be able to, and that's the problem. So next, I hate to say this, and I pray to God it doesn't happen, but I believe if they can't charge him with something, next thing we're going to see is somebody trying to move
Assassinated.
assassination. Exactly, and that's something I would hate to see on
Okay, and
anybody.
here again we go back to why. Why are they so dead set against Trump? And while I don't agree with what Putin's doing, I do kind of get his methodology because he too was against he is against the one world order and the child trafficking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well,
But
I don't agree
why
with Putin at
Trump?
all. I'm going to say this: I don't agree with Putin at all, but
I don't agree with what he's
I
doing, but
definitely do
I
not agree
kind of,
with Ukraine. You know,
well, Ukraine's just as dirty as the rest of them.
Ukraine's dirtier than any of them. Ukraine is literally there. I mean, I've shown the Warhammer for Ukraine. I've shown the Azov group and what they are. The Azov group is a neo-Nazi group. They don't even try to hide it.
Yes,
They have a
and that's
hammer,
what
like their
Ukraine
leader
is, and all
carries a
their
Warhammer that has Hitler's picture engraved in it.
exactly, and all they're doing is hiding all this crap from Biden and everything else, and all the dirty money and all the laundering and all the dirty shit that shouldn't be going on is happening. Ukraine is the hub for it. That's what I honestly believe from the rabbit holes I've been down.
Well, it's sad because we see cover-ups happen again and again and again. And most cover-ups, here's what will happen. We'll hear something during the day, and then some big event will happen that night or that evening, where everybody turns their head and looks at this big thing happening. And everybody forgets about this other thing that was happening.
Right.
Like China coming out and identifying that they have a new virus. Nobody's talking about it.
Another one.
A new virus that is novel, that has jumped from pigs, and it's killing 75% of those infected.
Oh my God. I just want
75%
to
of
know.
those
Okay, so
infected.
we know, Chris. Honestly, a common person that doesn't know anything about politics knows that Biden is not running this country. Who is the puppet master? Who is behind
Rice.
all this? It isn't
Susan
Camilla
Rice.
Camel Toe because she ain't got the smarts to even know how to change her pants so she doesn't look bad. I mean, I'm sorry, but
It's been
she
Susan Rice this
is the
whole time
laughing hyena.
Since the Obama administration. It's been Susan Rice. If you look back, this
That's
is
what
Rice's
I thought. It
plan
was Obama.
when Rice was when Rice was part of the UN. She put forth part of this Agenda 21 when Obama was also, or not Obama, when Joe Biden was also part of UN. They put forth, and Joe actually agreed on the Agenda 21 shit. But ever since Rice has got her way in the back offices, because she's never in the front face, she's never put
No.
herself up front.
Nope.
But yet everything is exactly the way she wanted it to happen. She wanted people to surrender to control to the government. And that's what's happening right now. They don't realize it. I mean, they make food cost
That
more.
is what's
She rely
happening.
on benefits from the government to give you food, and they just keep raising prices. That's what they're going to do. That was their plan. I mean, page
You control
520
the
or
food, you control the supplies, you control the people.
I mean, page 529 of this bill that's supposed to Inflation Reduction Act actually controls what you can grow on your property.
Excuse me? No,
Yes.
I don't think so. Not in my house. I know that they're doing that to the farmers. I know that from the different groups that I'm in, they told the farmers, like they offered them $3,200 a head for them just to kill their cattle and not take them to market, just to kill them.
Yep.
I know that farmers are now, they're culling their herds because they know that they cannot feed them through the winter. So there's no calving going on, which means no milk. With they're killing off their cattle, that means no beef. And we're going to see that come December, January.
Well, the problem is they've been calling their cows because there's not enough feed for them.
Right, exactly. And they're just they're being smart because they got to be able to keep some stock alive to reproduce for next generation. But that's going to be a year in the making for that to even happen. Eggs. My store, I'm a little convenience store. Our eggs went from $2.39 a dozen to $5 a dozen of eggs.
It'll be a
floored.
lot more than that by the time we're said and done. I'm looking.
Well,
I'm
and
thinking about
what's milk
$12 a dozen, $1 an
What's
egg.
milk going to be? There's not going to be any milk because the cows aren't going to be calving. And then they killed off all the chickens. So, I mean, where really are we going? And who really is control? Who is going to benefit from this? Because without us down here that pay all the taxes, then other people ain't going to have no money. So what is the main payout of this? What is the main goal? I guess is what I'm asking. What are they trying to do?
Well, here's another thing that nobody talked about: this Inflation Reduction Act. Besides private farming being reduced, did you know they're going to pay $20 billion for climate impacted farms as long as they stop farming, as long as they no longer farm that land? You'll get paid some of that $20 billion. And if you try to farm it, you will be fined.
So
it's actually written in this bill.
Control the food, control the people, control the population. So is this a population reduction? Is this what these puppet masters are after?
Now, I don't know at this point, but it doesn't look good. I mean, why is this stuff hidden in a bill that's supposed to be about inflation reduction? I mean, it's not like farmers want to not use their land.
That's what they live on, and they're the backbone of this country. So,
hauling animals, hanging crop, hanging wheat and cornfields. And now rice shortages that are happening. I don't know if you guys know. Asia is producing less than 50% of the rice it can average produce because there's actually climate issues there. They had a dry planting season, and now it's a flooded season there now.
Right.
So now they can't handle it.
Rice, we look at wheat, we look at produce. Okay, so like a lot of these other countries, like let's just take bananas. Where did bananas come from?
Well, bananas are having their own problem right now because they're having a blight. I don't know if you guys know there's a fungal infection happening in hidden banana fields.
Yeah.
And
so
the more
we're
it takes off.
That out.
Yep.
So what's the end game? This is what I don't understand. Like I'm trying to look at the whole big picture. I get they want this one world order and all that kind of crap, but how can you destroy mankind and still have a one world order and all these people with all this money that are doing this expect to survive too? I just don't understand it. What is the big picture? What is the end goal here?
I don't know. I mean, and besides trying to end what Americans are trying to achieve and try to end American independence, literally, that's what it feels like because Europe's already failing. Britain, of course, is failing. The EU as a whole is failing. So what's next? Cuba, of course.
They can't destroy America without destroying all the other nations with it.
Well, that was true. But now we're no longer the petrodollar. Technically, if other countries were to leave American or alliances, they could still survive.
Because they would take care of them because they have the other things that we need. But I don't know, Chris.
I mean, because Russia right now has plenty of extra. I mean, they have an exasperate amount of wheat and other crops that they grow this year that they can't sell. And they don't care if they sell it or not.
What's it going to do? It's going to rot.
Yeah, they don't care if they sell it or not because they made more than their normal GDP in oil alone.
But that GDP the money doesn't mean anything if you can't support the people, your population. If you can't feed them, if you can't supply goods, clothing.
No, but I mean, Russia's GDP's increased and they have an exponential amount of goods. So it's not like they're starving for anything because they have all the wheat they can use.
Okay, so Russia doesn't get imports from anywhere else in the world.
Russia
China doesn't
produces.
get,
Russia's a major exporter of food. They're not an importer. They're an exporter of food.
so what they produce themselves, they can live off of.
Oh yes, easily. Russia only has around 40 something million people, and they produce enough food for like a couple billion people.
Okay, how many people are in America? 320 million?
368 million, I believe.
Okay. And America, we can't produce enough to support ourselves.
No,
If we
we can't.
didn't have all the shit that they're doing, we couldn't survive on what we alone produce in America.
No, we couldn't.
Because we don't produce in America, because we ship everything out for other countries to make money off of us, right?
Or not only that, like even stuff we do produce. Let's say we produce grain here. We sell that grain to China. China pelletizes it, literally runs it through a machine and makes it pellets, and sells it back as animal feed.
And what president in our time decided to do that?
Oh, it's cheaper.
Who thought, I get back in the beginning of time that it was okay, we're a world, we're going to work together, neighborhood, work together, survive. But right now, why aren't we doing this? And why aren't we producing our own meds? Why aren't we doing what we need to do for ourselves? And I don't know whose pocket all this money that we're sending to Ukraine is going in, but I do know, and I heard this personally from someone who I listened to you and I what he said, because he is way up there in the military, and he said there are already plans. They have already earmarked the money. They have all the plans together to go into Ukraine and rebuild, and he is part of the hydraulic dams that they're going to rebuild in Ukraine to make Ukraine self-sufficient. What the hell?
Well, here's the problem. Ukraine's never going to be self-sufficient. We do not want self-sufficiency. The UN, the United Nations, does not want self-sufficiency. They want a global conglomerate to control everything.
The one world order, or new world order, or the Great Restart, or what?
Whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. I mean, we can call it Joe's Big Plan from now on. It's all the same thing. It's all to lower population density and increase productivity according to the world order.
And Trump's not part of the world order. Is that why they're coming down and going after him so hard?
Well, I think they're going after Trump because Trump wants to charge people for the crimes they actually commit. Like Epstein, supposedly he passed away in jail. Supposedly. The body didn't look like him. And then there was other questions, and then all of a sudden he was gone. His body was gone. There was no way to do any more research. Who knows? He could be on some private island somewhere. We would never know.
But Trump was instrumental in getting you busted in the beginning.
Yeah.
And this judge that ordered that signed the warrant supposedly for them to go into Mar-a-Lago, wasn't he part of the initial Epstein investigation? An attorney or something?
That's a whole nother issue that I'm going to start on as soon as we get some more information about the raid and what information they brought to him. But the whole thing is, I mean, to be against the Republican Party and a judge signing off on a raid warrant is ridiculous at this point. So we're going to dig some more into that, though, in the coming weeks as soon as we get more information. But I can't speculate on something, especially with the judge involved.
It all comes back to what the hell? I mean, this is one man in history. No other president has been persecuted. And we've had some dirty presidents. We all know that. No other man in history has ever been persecuted or gone after the way he has. Why? Why? Do you have an answer for
Because
that
he's
one?
different. He's outside the party lines.
Yeah, wait, they were all his buddies back in the day. I mean, they all hobnobbed.
He
Him
is
and
he is
Pelosi
way
and
outside the
all of
party
them.
lines, and he doesn't care what he says. That's the problem. He doesn't care who he offends. He doesn't care. He wants people to just. He wants to run the country like a company, and that's the way a country should be ran. You
That's
shouldn't
how
have
we should be.
a debt rolling over year to year is ridiculous.
Exactly.
How are you borrowing money from nothing? That's what I want to
Exactly. And
know.
how are we getting money that we don't have? Where are these billions and trillions of dollars coming from
They just print it.
to go to Ukraine? And then where's proof that this money even got there? And what is this money doing?
They just print the money and then we give it away. We give weapons and everything else. It's not just cash.
And
But we print the money, and that's what we do. We just keep printing it.
I honestly believe that they are going to do everything in their power. This is why Pelosi made her little trip, which, why did she go to Taiwan? What the hell?
Oh, she
That's
did it
not,
just to edge war.
yeah.
I mean, that's
So they
obvious.
want us in war because if we're in war, there won't be a primary election in November. And then they'll keep us in war, so we won't have another election, so they remain control. Whoever the puppet master is, because it isn't Biden, and like I haven't seen him. I don't watch mainstream media. I watch you, and I talk
Dig
to
a little
people.
bit
I
into
don't
rice,
watch.
and you'll be surprised how deep that rabbit hole goes. I
Yeah,
mean, literally, when I dug into New World Order, rice is one of the names that came up. And I really dug into that, and I found out a lot of information just about her policies and politics that are applying to everyday common, like what Democrats want today.
yeah, and they're going to do everything in their power, Chris, to make sure that we don't have an election because they know they're going to lose.
Yep.
And I've had stout Democrats that back when the election was going on, and you're like, I'm very vocal. And I wore my Trump stuff. Everybody knew I was a Trump supporter, and they were cussing me and talking shit to me and everything else. And now they're like, what's happening? We need Trump back in office. And I said, well, I tried to tell you all that, but you wouldn't listen to me. Well, Trump is harsh. He's not a people person per se as your feelings. But damn it, he ran the country good. And that's all I care about. So
Yeah, I don't care about offending me with people's words. I care about what your actual.
whatever your words and all this LGBTQ and all that, whatever you do behind closed doors, honey, you do. I don't care. How you treat me is what I care. What you do, other than that, I don't care. Even some of those people are turning around and going, what the hell is going on now? So I don't know. But anyway,
Well, thank you
I
for
thank
calling in.
you.
We definitely appreciate it.
I love you, Chris. You take care of yourself. Take care of Grandpa. And
All right. God
thank you for
bless.
letting me talk. Bye.
No problem. Bye. And as you guys know, I'm sure you guys have seen my posts about every video getting copyrighted from now on because of my voice. Facebook has no way for us to dispute this, even though this is my voice and me talking. I guess I have to pay Facebook to use my voice. I don't know. Or maybe it's just because we cover subjects that Facebook does not like. Oh well. We definitely do appreciate any donations that are possible so we can keep the channel going and keep helping people in need. So, God bless you guys. Thank you for calling in. We definitely appreciate that. We appreciate having conversations with you and actually seeing what you feel and how you feel about what's going on in the world. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick, but we got to push and we got to keep going forward. IRS, why do they need guns? That's another question. Why do they need enough ammunition for 7 rounds for every American citizen? And why do they have to become the biggest or one of the biggest agencies within the whole entire government, bigger than the FBI, CIA? No. Rangers themselves. So, God bless you guys. We will be back tomorrow night. Yeah, you get ads during the live stream, but we don't get any money off of it. I turned off ads. Literally, they copyright every video. So I don't know why. But God bless you guys. Thank you for calling in and being with us. We'll be live on Friday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. giving you an update of what's happening, what's going down. Hopefully, nothing big happens out of Russia tomorrow. Well, if something big does happen, we will be live right away, of course, watching Ukraine after Crimea got hit today. Russia, of course, we know what Russia said, and whether they were actually hit with an explosive or an accident, we will find out. But God bless you guys. God bless America. Take back our country one day at a time. Good night.